gap seconds from Elodie. And we can see Arceo is only 5 seconds in the 9th spot.
So just taking a quick look then at the starts list there, and you can see all eyes on Mariana Arceo, who is the only athlete really in with a good chance of breaking into that top 10. All 9 of those athletes will nervously be looking over their shoulder, knowing that one of the fastest runners of this semi-final could break into that top 10. Elodie Clouvel leads us off the line. Maria Orteza starting in 2nd place with Elise Sotero in 3rd. Yeva Serapiniete in 4th place. Sihi Kim in 5th. And Ace Oods will be starting in 6th place. Natalia Dominiak in 7th. Shooting Jong in 8th place. Karenza Bryson in 9th. Away goes Sotero, closely followed out by Serapiniete. And it does add an extra element of edginess having such a quick runner. You can see Arceo on the start-finish line there. She will be putting the pressure on those athletes as they make their way past the formation lap. It looks like a big lead, but when they start to get to that shooting range, those leads can get chipped away quite quickly.
You can see Maria Orteza is put the short gap in. She's very close to Elodie.
Yeah, it's a French 1-2 at the moment. Orteza and Clouvel will know each other well. So we're waiting to see if Arceo is on the start-finish line. I know Arceo is away, so Arceo is sprinting already. She knows she's got the pace to close that gap on the athletes further up. And Bryson has already moved past Shooting Jong, and Arceo is absolutely flying. We'll see her in a moment. She is absolutely flying towards 8th and 9th place. So those are our leaders. But Mariana Arceo is really the race that we're intrigued in at the moment, because she is the only one that can break inside that top 9. She has already closed that gap down to around 5 or 6 seconds. You'll see her coming on your screen in a moment, hopefully. Well, if we hold this shot, there she is. So you just saw a glimpse of Mariana Arceo in that gap that she's got. So there's Bryson. Bryson has moved ahead of Zhang, and any moment now, there she is in the back of the shot, taking a very wide line out of that corner. And Mariana Arceo is already, you feel, got half a step into this final. Look at that, it's so fast. And then there's that big chunk of athletes further back, but unfortunately the race is not about them, it's about those top 9 positions. And Arceo, you feel at this point, almost certainly looks like she's going to be putting the pressure on, doesn't she?
Yeah, of course, and I want to say the first part of the course is not easy to run, because you have a
look at that.
corner.
Sorry to jump in and interrupt you there, but Arceo has already caught up.
Yeah.
Wow, we knew it was going to be, it was going to put some pressure on. We didn't realise it was going to be quite that much. Right, let's turn our attention to the shooting range, because the 2 French athletes, Clouvel and Orteza, are there. So Orteza's made her first shot, but Clouvel is missing. So Orteza's flying through. Clouvel has made, I think, 1 or 2 shots. There you can see in the bottom right of the screen. So Orteza with some really good shooting. But this is once again slow shooting from Clouvel. So interesting. Elodie Clouvel has now hit the 20-second mark. She's found a bit of rhythm now. 4 out of the 5 for Clouvel. Clouvel's still struggling with her shooting here. It's a 27-second shoot for Clouvel. So room for improvement for Clouvel, that's for sure. She can't afford to have 4 of them. So how's that battle for 9th place looking? Well, I can tell you that Arceo has already moved up into 8th place. That's brilliant, brilliant running from Arceo, it has to be said. So Bryson, Zhang and Arceo at the shooting range. Dominic's away. Oods is slightly slower here. She's away with a 27-second shoot. Bryson away and Zhang away, and Arceo has been slower in the range. So that battle is once again going to have to happen on the tracks. Really slow shooting that from Arceo. 19 seconds. I think it was more than that, was it? Yeah, because that's frozen. Seconds. So yeah, Arceo has work to do. Again, she's absolutely flying around the course, but Zhang and Bryson comfortably in 8th and 9th place at the moment, but Arceo, she's just a natural runner, isn't she? She's so quick. I love watching Arceo run. She really puts so much effort into it. Bryson's got a lot more pace in the tank should she need it. Zhong, I think, probably is the slower of the three in terms of running pace. So,
yeah, she needs to close that gap again, and she needs Arceo needs a good shooting series.
She does, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So, getting pulled into that battle is Anais Uds, and you can see Arceo is having to do this the hard way. She is already closing in on Zhong and Bryson. Must be fascinating having that much pace.
Yeah, of course, you start the lazer-run with the feeling that you can do it because you're stronger than the other one in running, and you can catch it whatever you want.
So Arceo is not as close as she was at this point in the previous lap. So interestingly, Arceo has dropped back a little bit. She's having to put maximum pace into this run. So back at the shooting range is Marie Orteza. Orteza's shooting slow this time. 10 seconds, 2 targets hit. Starting to find a bit of rhythm now. Slow shoot this from Orteza though. Cluvel's, that's better from Cluvel. So away goes Orteza. Cluvel shooting really well here now, it has to be said. She's not quite made it sub 10. Struggling with that fourth shot, but 14 second shoot. So I think it was around half, it was over half quicker than it was previous lap. So it's better shooting from Cluvel, that isn't it, Roni?
Yeah, better shooting. Of course, the first one probably she needed to just feel a little bit less stressed from the shooting. You know, you come from a competition that you haven't shoot well.
Let's take a look at this battle for 7th, 8th and 9th place. Arceo needs to shoot better if she's to really put pressure on Bryson and Zhong. Bryson with a little bit of a stuttered start then. Bryson gets away. Arceo is shooting slow again. So, well, this battle from Arceo will not end well unless she shoots better. She's putting so much effort into the running. You're wondering if that is affecting her shooting. It's going to be a 28-second shoot for Arceo, who once again has a massive gap to make up, and she's got to try and get ahead of Anais Uds now, who's dropped down to 9th place.
Yeah, but you still have 2 shooting to do, and we saw now the Belgian girl that just dropped in the 9th position from the 6th.
So that is 7th, 8th and 9th place. Zhong's running very well here. Uds has moved back past Bryson. Bryson, we know, had a little bit of stiffness in her right arm from fencing. Having to dig deep here, but she's holding pace. The gold medalist from Sofia with 7th and 8th place. And are we going to see Arceo just cracking onto the screen again? Not quite. The camera follows round 7th, 8th and 9th place, and Arceo is quite a bit further back. So Arceo is really having to work hard at this. We might just see her at the back of the shot. There she is. So she comes onto the screen just before the athletes swing round to the grass part of the circuit. I think this could be difficult for Arceo at this point.
Yeah, maybe she started too quick, and you know, laser-run is a balance between running and shooting. You always have to go and in the shooting range and be the heart rate a little bit lower.
Orteza
well.
And Cluvel are at the range. Orteza shooting better here. Sotero, we've not mentioned too much this race, has been going confidently about her business. 30-second shoot from Orteza, that'll do. Cluvel shooting much better again, by the way. This is brilliant from Cluvel. That's great shooting from Cluvel. 10-second shoot from the Olympic silver medalist from Rio. So Cluvel's found her shooting form. Great to see. Just 6 seconds behind the leader now. Sotero 9 seconds behind. Top 3 are safe.
Amazing shooting from Sarah Pinaite, 7 seconds.
She's such a consistent, solid shooter, Sarah Pinaite. So this is the battle once again. Where is Arceo? There she is. Arceo needs to shoot better, otherwise it's over. And Uds is potentially going to get caught up into this, actually. Oh, there you go. So if Arceo can get away cleanly here, she can. So the battle's back on. Arceo shoots a little bit better that lap. 3 shoots down. 1 still to go. And Arceo looks a little bit more inspired to try and put a bit more pace in. She's all over the back of Woods.
Going through the tricky part of the corner where you can lose a little bit of speed on running. But now it's coming the fastest part. And I think she can do it.
So, Woods goes round the outside of Zhong there, and those two are battling for 7th and 8th place, knowing full well that Arceo is catching them. This is where you start to feel quite exhausted. There's no pit stops. You wouldn't be able to box this lap in pentathlon, but Marianne Arceo is really closing in on Zhong and moves up into 9th place. Zhong has felt the pain and has lost the pace, and Marianne Arceo has moved up into 9th place. So Marianne Arceo has done it, and just in a flash like that, Zhong just took her foot off the gas and lost that pace. And in fact, Laura Heredia is closing in, but of course there is that handicap start, isn't there, which is capped at 1:30, so still they can't quite make their way in. But Zhong has struggled, and now you can see Arceo is moving up into potentially 8th place now. So Arceo's done it. Just been informed that Sunwoo Kim will not be finishing this race. But here we go. So Arceo has now moved herself within range of the top 9, who are all moving away nicely. Orteza first, Tero second, Cluvel third, Domagnac fourth, Sihi Kim fifth, Sarah Piniete in 6th place, and Arceo is absolutely flying now. She's up into 8th place.
Yeah, an amazing competition from Mariana.
Heredia then in 9th place. But it was a handicapped start, so it will be Woods that will be in 9th place. It just shows you how fast Heredia has been running, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think she's going to win the laser-run, because from the 17 to the 9, 10
Yeah,
position.
I think you're probably right. So you can see there Anais Woods in 9th place, holding on to that 9th position. And it's sad to say for Zhu Tingzhong, she's just dropped off the pace in that final sort of section of this race, hasn't she?
Yeah, well, it was a very exciting laser run.
She just suddenly seemed to fall off a cliff edge, though, didn't she, Zhong? She was keeping pace with the likes of Bryson. A quick look over the shoulder there from Bryson.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking how impressive it is, because she's still going, and it's unbelievable.
So, we'll stick with the athletes then as they make their way over the finish line. Orteza is fastest. I think it was, yeah, Sotero in 2nd place, Cluvel in 3rd. Coming home in 4th place is Sihi Kim, Domagnac in 5th, Arceo ends up in 6th place. Brilliant running from Arceo, she's done superbly there. Sarah Piniete in 7th, Bryson in 8th, Heredia celebrate coming over the line in 9th place, but because of that handicap start, 9th place goes to Woods. And yeah, the handicap is capped at a 1:30 start, but when you look at the start times, Heredia was 5 minutes and 43 seconds off the pace, so she will not be finishing in 9th place. But she did finish 20 seconds off the lead, given that she started a 1:30 off. Testament to Laura Heredia's incredible laser run abilities. And she have had better fortunes in the ride, she would no doubt be looking down at place in the final. So those are your 9 athletes, and there is Zhong coming home in the end. Did 2 3/4 laps at a great pace, but just fell off that cliff edge before the end of the penultimate lap. There you can see Mine Oliver just rounding things off.
Yeah, you see, when you have riding also in the semi is difficult for the athletes. Is a good challenge. That's the Ukrainian coming.
Yeah, Klunnikova coming home in 17th place. And just mention that Sunwoo Kim was unable to finish the race. And that concludes the women's semi-final Group A.